Oke, baik. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We from group two will explain the issue we are discuss until why the Indonesian economy is important and its unexpected growth. As a closing assignment for the English course with lecturer Miss Bella. First, let me introduce myself. My name is Nur Fitri Novianti, and introduce my group friend. Second Raihan Dwi Nugroho, third Sultan Agung, fourth Yosua Kristianto, and last Zaid. Mana sih? Today's agenda for the first current issue, introduction, problem statement, and closing.
By using the link in the description.
Then we will briefly describe the videos we observed, the first of which will be explained. Mas Raihan.
Okay, thank you, Nur. In first, introduction from issue is point 1. In recent decades, Indonesia has attracted global attention as a country with a very successful economy and experiencing rapid industrialization. Like its predecessor, namely Hong Kong, Singapore, South Korea, and Taiwan. Point 2 is, in 1915 until 1919, the Indonesian economy increased rapidly, and 1997, Indonesia experienced economic difficulty, which led to significant political reform. However, currently, Indonesia economy is continuing to grow, placing it as an upper middle income country. Next. Point 3 is, Indonesia is an archipelagic country rich in research. It is large country in Southeast Asia with a population of 2,700 million people spread across thousands of islands from the ocean to the Pacific. It is the world's most population Muslim country, the third largest democracy, and the fourth most populous country, with 52% of its population being young. Point 4 is, Indonesia economy and politics attracted world attention in 1990 when the crony capital system collapsed amidst the Asian financial crisis and marked the end of President Suharto's 32 years tenure. Next.
Okay, for the next problem statement, first point, Indonesia is back in the spotlight because it plays a strategic role between America and China. The country is adapting to a new world order in which globalization and Western supremacy are in decline. Second point, Indonesia is the seventh largest developing country based on GDP, based on purchasing power parity, and is projected to surpass Germany and Russia in 2024. Third point, one of the reasons why the Indonesia economy is getting attention is because Indonesia has more than 5 of the world nickel, which is an important ingredient in the batteries that power electric vehicles, and the only other country with similar reserve is Australia. For point, Indonesia is also the third largest cobalt producing country in the world, which is another important input. 5 point, Jakarta, the capital, has become one of the most successful incubators of nanotechnology companies in South Asia, thus raising hopes that Indonesia geographic challenge of us archipelagic country with thousands of islands can be overcome through digitalization. 6 point, Indonesia digital economy is ranked first among other ASEAN countries. The digital economy's gross merchandise value which represents the value of goods sold through customer to customer or e-commerce platforms, has increased from $41 billion in 2019 to $77 billion in 2022.
Okay, thanks, Nur. I will continue problem statement. Point 7. Indonesia is increasingly attractive to foreign investors with the youngest population in the region, where 26% of the population is under 50 years old. This country has a large consumer market. Point 8. Indonesia has long maintained a conscious approach to in diplomacy, so it is the best choice for Chinese and Western investors because it takes advantage of the lack of global attention. Its strategic location, fastest and abundant resource position it as an important player in the competition between superpower. Point 9, Indonesia has a tradition of taking sides in global conflict that occurred in the 2950 s. Indonesia wants to remain neutral and seeks to attract investment from both China and America. Next.
Since
Point-
President Jokowi,
Point 10. Since President Joko Widodo or Jokowi was elected in 2040, has made a major investment in infrastructure. The government has built 60 new airports, 9 airports, 200,000 kilometers of the roads, and 36 of 61 dams have been completed. This makes Indonesia more competitive in the global economy. Point 11. According to the EMD Competitiveness Index, Indonesia's ranking rose from 44 to 34 in the world. This competitiveness is not only influenced by GDP and productivity in release on efficient infrastructure, strong institution and policy that encourage sustainable value creation. Next. Point 22. In 2024, just before Jokowi's first time in office, Indonesia banned the export of raw beans with the intention of processing materials domestically. This helps increases foreign investment, especially in the metal processing sector, and forces foreign investors to invest in Indonesia. Point 4, the investment does not only offer metal processing to manufacturing on the island of Java, which is home to half the population. South Korean battery company LG Energy Solution and carmaker Hyundai started building Indonesia with electric vehicle battery scale factory at the end of last year. Point 50, the government wants Tesla to follow suit and offer land for a larger factory in Central Java. Okay, thanks. Ya,
Point 15. This raises question about how much of Indonesia economic growth is centered in Jakarta. Point 16. This raises question about how much of Indonesian economic growth is centered in Jakarta, where GDP per capita in Jakarta reaches around 19,000 dollars per person, and Central Java, which is close by, GDP per capita is less than 3,000 dollars per person. Moreover, on remote island, the economic conditions are lower than Jakarta or Central Java. The digital revolution helped reduce economic inequality. In Indonesia, the cities with the fastest growth are medium-sized cities with a population of more than 10 people, namely Medan, Bandung, Surabaya. Next. Next. Point 18, Jokowi has big ambition for Indonesia economic output. His ambition is to return Indonesia economic growth to at last pre-crisis level, namely above 7% per year by the end of his presidential term. Point 19, Jokowi and his cabinet implement various policies by reducing fuel subsidies to increase government spending on infrastructure, aiming to remove significant obstacles that hinder Indonesia economic growth. Point 20, in addition, his administration aimed to increase the competitiveness of the national economy and encourage export and attract more investment. Point 21, this effort still failed to achieve the growth target of 7%. The main problem with growth today is diminishing return on investment. Next, Joshua.
Point 22. Next slide. Okay. Next slide. Okay. Point 22. Another problem is decline in the manufacturing sector. Indonesia experienced growth driven by the manufacturing sector from the mid 1980 to the mid 1990. However, since then the number has decreased. The lack of substantial productivity improvements has been a major factor contributing to the decline in the sector's overall performance. Point 24. Research has also identified other important causes, including geographic condition, infrastructure device, labor market problems, and uncertain business climate, and resistant attitudes towards economic reform policies. Next slide. Point 25. Among these problems, the output productivity per working hour of Indonesian people is still low compared to neighboring countries such as China, Malaysia, and Thailand, and is even higher. Point 26. One of the causes of low productivity is that government spending on development, both on capital education, health, and social assistance, remains low and has even fallen slightly compared to GDP since 2015 due to weak revenue collection. Point 27. Even though an average developing countries in Asia invest more than 14% of their GDP in development, Indonesia still only invests around half of that amount. Point 28. Corruption in Indonesia also remains a long-standing problem, impacting the government's ability to operate efficiently and provide public service. This can discourage foreign investment and increase the cost of doing business. According to the Corruption Perception Index, Indonesia's ranking is much higher than China, India, Malaysia, Vietnam, and Thailand. Next. Sorry. Closing. However, Jokowi's pro-growth agenda aims to significantly improve Indonesia's challenging business environment. Great progress has been made as shown by the significant improvement in Indonesia ease of doing business ranking. Even though Indonesia may still receive less international attention, the real economic picture is become clearly. With larger nickel and reserves, Indonesia is poised to play an important role in the fast-growing electric vehicle industry, which has been in the early stages of expansion for decades. If successful, Indonesia will improve the lives of a quarter of a billion people and boost a growth-starved world. This could even change the global balance of power.
Okay, thank you for your attention. We are opening question. If anyone has a question, please raise your hand and state your name. To Zenith. Zenith boleh.
Okay, thank you. My name is Zenith Sasnoto. Question is, you guys mentioned earlier the causes of economic growth problems. One of the causes of low productivity is due to insufficient government spending for development, both for capital, education, health, and social assistance, which is too low. My question is, what is your view or your way of increasing productivity on this problem?
Oke, thank you Zenith. Ayu, selanjutnya.
I have a question. The question is, why is foreign investment used as a strategy for economic growth in Indonesia? While welfare from the use of its natural resource is not yet sufficient for its population. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for question, Ayu. Okay, for my friend who can answer existing question, boleh.
Okay, I will answer question from Zenith. In my opinion, to increase productivity in economic growth, in first is invest in adequate infrastructure such as road, bridge, and telecommunication network. And second is increasing education and training to improve the quality of the workforce and their ability to face technological change. And last, encourage innovation and research by providing incentive to companies to conduct research and development. This is my answer. Thank you.
Okay, nice answer. Thank you very much.
I want to answer to question of Ayu. In my opinion, why Indonesia investment with the other country, because to carry out various collaboration to complement each other deficiencies in resource. That's my answer.
Okay, thank you, Joshua.
Okay, thank you to my friend who accept and thank you to my friend who answer. Enough. If there are any mistake in words, please forgive us. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.